I've lost 150 pounds and completely transformed my life. But that 315-pound man I used to be, he still lives in my head. He never left. And some days, he still wins. Skip the run. You've earned that extra piece of dessert. You can sit down and watch TV and do nothing. Those are the voices that used to run my life. And that was the case until I built the systems to finally shut him up. And take this story from just last week. It was 8:15 p.m. on a Friday after a stressful, chaotic day. I just put my daughter down to bed. A 15-kilometer run in the morning, a brutal day at work, and a teething 11-month-year-old. If you have a kid, you know the pain. And you know what? He knows that this is when I'm at my most vulnerable. To make matters worse, the freezer had just been stocked with my favorite ice cream, Utterly Divine, peanut butter-filled cups. I walked past, and he showed up. And you know what? His voice, it always starts out so kind, so reasonable. Brendan, you've earned that ice cream. You did a 15-kilometer run in the morning. You just had a very stressful, chaotic-filled day. You deserve that little bowl of ice cream. It's not going to hurt. But I've got another run tomorrow, and that ice cream does not align with any of my short-term or long-term goals. But I'm feeling pretty low right now. And maybe that ice cream is what I need for that just little bit of extra boost, and it won't actually hurt me that much. And then he chimes in, and he is the sweetest, smoothest talker around. You deserve it. And like you said, what's one time going to do anyway in the grand scheme of things? You do good all throughout the week. You can always get back on track tomorrow. Oh, and don't forget, there's chocolate sauce in the fridge. You can go play video games right after you get that ice cream too. Sounds pretty good. No. I see what you're doing. You always make it sound so good and so reasonable, but I know where this road leads. I know that one time is not one time. Using one of his oldest weapons in the book, late night cravings when I'm vulnerable. And I do have a system for this, but what is this system exactly that I go and counterattack him with? Step 1, pause. Step 2, reflect on the craving and ask myself, if I give in, how will I feel tomorrow? Will I feel good that I gave in and had this ice cream? Or will I wake up with that little bit of regret and feel even worse on my run tomorrow for giving in to this craving? I visualize myself waking up tomorrow morning. As soon as my eyes open, how will I feel? If I don't cave, I will feel extremely proud that I didn't give in to his lies. And that's the version of me that I want to be. So I grab my pen and I write down exactly what I just said, how I want to wake up tomorrow and feel. And if I don't eat that ice cream, I will feel that way. If I eat that ice cream, I will feel like I let myself down and have regret in the morning, as well as some stomach issues on the run in the morning because ice cream and me just doesn't sit that well. I walk away from that freezer, and every step that I take, I feel more power. More power taking away from him and giving it back to myself, becoming the person that I deserve to be. Let's analyze 4 more weapons that are even more powerful. Actually, the 4th weapon we're going to talk about is the worst, but let's talk about how he attacks me and how I counterattack him. The snack attack. When I'm stressed, he hits hard. The cravings come on fast, even if I just ate. He even goes as far as creating false urgency, making me physically feel like I'm hungry. But the truth is, this isn't my body needing energy. I don't need any fuel right now. This is him trying to feed his ego, trying to take control over me. My defense protocol for this one is quite simple, but it's effective. I pause and reflect. What have I eaten today? I tend to log all of my food, so I can even go as far as to checking how many calories have I had and how many calories have I burned, and do I really need this snack right now? And sometimes the answer is yes, but most often the answer is no. He's just trying to feed his own ego. Then I have to disrupt this pattern. I have to get this thought out of my mind, so I'll go as far as doing 10 bodyweight squats or something like that to get my mind off of it, because I've learned over time that if I don't do something physical to get him out of my mind, that thought is just going to continue looping, and a looping thought is a thought that's going to win over you. You have to get away from that looping power, and by physically disconnecting and doing something powerful for your own body, whether it's doing a squat or going out for like a 5-minute walk, just something to get away from that thought, it will help you. Sometimes we have to accept the imperfections, accept that we're not going to be perfect. And if we give in to these things, don't let it fool you and make you think that you're completely failing. The truth is, you can get back the minute later. You can take control over again. And this is just the truth. We have the power to change our life in any given moment. And this is no different. Brief pause from our sponsor, the like button. If you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like button if you're enjoying this video. And if you want to hear more transformation content, hit the subscribe button right down below. Let's get back to it. The next weapon is the easy food Switch-a-roo. And as a new parent, this one has has been extremely difficult to get away from. After a long day, he knows I'm tired. He knows I'm loaded with responsibilities. And he knows the last thing I want to do if I don't have food prepped at home is to go home and cook. So he whispers, just grab something on the way home. You deserve it. The truth is, he's right. It's always easier to get takeout, and there are some healthy options for takeout. But it's costing me money and it's costing me my health, because even though the takeout's healthier, it's still takeout. It's still taking money away from the wallet. It's still taking my health away from me because they might not cook in the same way that I cook. Even though it's the exact same food on paper, it's prepared totally different. So my defense protocol for this is actually twofold. It has to do with financially and health-wise. Is this meal going to cost me more than I want to pay? How much more is it going to cost me to go do takeout than it would be to make the same meal at home? And the answer is always a lot more. The next step in this protocol is to have some food available that, even though it's not prepared, I just have like a quick, easy 5-minute thing. And for me, the quick, easy thing for me is generally eggs and toast. Yeah, it might not be the most nutritionally dense, but it's filling and it's healthy enough. There's tons of these types of options. I'm not a give a diet food type of guy, but you know the options out there. This stuff is not fancy. It's purely just fuel to get you by. And then I remind myself, I recite the reward. By eating at home, I'm being healthier and I'm spending less money, which will allow me to have more freedom later on. I win twice, he loses twice. Take that. The next weapon is the exercise negotiator. He shows up here every single day, especially before a run. He's smooth, he's convincing, and he's always filled with logic. It's too cold. You didn't sleep well. You worked out hard yesterday and your body's sore. You need a break. Oh, you might be coming down with something. All these thoughts he throws at, and every single one sounds reasonable, but every one of them is a slight bit of a lie. The truth is, he doesn't want what's best for me. He wants what's most comfortable, what's gonna make him feel the safest, and he wants to feel in control. But it's his comfort, not mine. First of all, the little victory tactic. I don't negotiate a full run. I negotiate just 5 minutes, just something to get me out that door. Because the moment that I start moving, his power fades. And more often than not, 9 times out of 10, I finish the full run anyway. Even though I only said I was going to do 5 minutes, when I'm out the door, his power is gone and I'm in control. The 1-day rule. Because you know what? Sometimes we do give in, and sometimes he might be right that yes, we do need a break, but I only have a 1-day limit. There's no 2 days in a row that I let him win, unless of course I'm actually injured, but how often is that actually the case? If he wins today, that's data. That is not defeat. We can analyze why he won today and how we can prevent it tomorrow. The fourth weapon is his most diabolical one, and it's his most mean one and shows his true colors. The "you're not good enough" debacle. When all of his other tactics fail, when he can't bring you down, when he can't keep you in the house, when he can't get you to eat poorly, when he can't keep you to just be comfortable, he will attack your whole being. He whispers, "You're a fraud. You haven't changed. You're just pretending. This won't last. You're kidding yourself." His goal isn't to argue with you at this point. It's to completely erase every bit of progress you've made. And this defense protocol has taken me a long time to develop, and it's still a work in progress today, because these voices are prevalent and here every single day. First of all is my evidence file. I reflect back to the photos of my Ironman races. I reflect back on the last week of training, just proving to myself and proving to him that I can do these things and that he is not in control and he does not know. And sometimes I am doing something that I don't have receipts for, but I do have enough receipts of me proving him wrong that I can use that as fuel and as inspiration to fight against this. And then I go the counterattack. Let's talk about when I was 315 pounds. Where am I today? You said back then that I wouldn't be able to achieve anything I did. But guess what? I'm sitting here where I am today and I've achieved so much more than you said that I could. Remember when stairs used to crush me? Now I run up hills for hours at a time. He had me back then, but I took the wheel. I took control, and you can take control as well. We all have the power within ourselves to defeat the inner voice. I look at pictures of myself back then to where I am now, and I remind myself that you can do whatever you put your mind to. Remember who you are now. Having this outside perspective allows the voice that he tries to control me with to vanish. I took control, and the infection that he's trying to spread to my brain stops there. That isn't just defense. That is a complete and utter identity war. That is the type of stuff that weight loss truly entails. Weight loss is not only eating well and exercising. Those are surface level things. Losing weight and keeping it off for the long term requires so much more work. And that's why it's so rare for people to actually make long-term sustainable change, because it requires you to work on your mental state, to build the mental systems, not only the physical systems, because the physical systems will break down without the mental systems in place. And the truth is, this man will never leave me. And there may come a time of weakness where these systems will fail. It has happened in the past and it will happen in the future as well. And I'll have to evolve. These systems will have to shift and change with me if I want to continue to be successful fighting against this man. And that's the hard and honest truth. I'm being completely raw and vulnerable with you guys, that yes, I've lost a bunch of weight, and yes, I've become extremely fit in relation to my old self, but this is constant work. It's not just lose weight, set and forget. You don't just reach a goal weight and stay there forever without building these mental systems to keep you there. And it only starts to get easier once you have these systems in place for you. So please take the time, identify what's causing you to be stuck in this place right now, and work on building the systems. I will be with you every step of the way if you need some help. Drop a comment in the comments section down below, and I'd love to explore these options with you. Let me know what you think of this video, and let me know if you have the same type of voice that's fighting against you. A voice that you know isn't actually you. A voice that's just trying to keep you in place. Stephen Pressfield calls this the resistance. This is no different than that. Yes, The War of Art, the book that I'm referring to, has to do with creative works and all this stuff. The resistance is a force on this earth that tries to keep us in the comfort zone. We need to break through. We have the ability to, and we can.